Good morning. Welcome to Hometown Highlights. You know that initially when we first started our program, I wanted to hear good things that were happening in Fort Meade so that other people would know those fantastic things or interesting things that others might want to know. And so we have with us this morning Mrs. Henderson, who is going to tell us a few things about her latest trip. And it was an iconic trip because it was her first time going on an airplane. And I know that many people are sometimes hesitant of flying. And so I want her to tell me about her experience.
Okay, so when we got to the airport in Orlando, we had to go through the airport security, and they made you take off your shoes. You had to put your purse, your backpack, your carry-on luggage up on the conveyor belt so they can scan it through the security. And then when you're done, you put your shoes back on, get all your belongings, and then we had to go find our gate. So we walked and we found our gate. Once we found our gate, then we sat there and we had to wait about 2 hours for our airplane. But it's important that you get to the airport at least 2 hours early. So especially if it's a big airport like Orlando, so you can find your gate and get checked in and everything. And then once the 2 hours were over, we got on the plane. And then when we were getting on the plane, you can they have to scan your ticket on a scanner thing. And we had our ticket on our phone, so we scanned it on the ticket on the scanner from the phone. And then once you do that, you go in this little hallway. It's called the jet bridge. And then you walk down it and you get on the plane, and everybody else is boarding the plane. When we got on the plane, the flight attendant handed us a sanitizer wipe for you to, clean your seat and your lap thing that comes down in the airplane. So we found our seat, we got seated, and then we had to wait for everybody else to board the plane. And then once everybody else was boarding the plane, they told us, the safety instructions if the plane was to land all of a sudden, or if we had a problem, how to exit the plane, and if the mask thing you drop down, how to put it on and everything like that. And then after that, the flight attendants take their seat, and they make sure everybody is got buckles if you need it, your seatbelt is buckled if you need an extension or anything. And then after they get done doing that, the flight attendants take their seat, and then the captain says, okay passengers, so and so, we're due to arrive at we were flying from Orlando to Chicago, so we're due to arrive in Chicago at this time. And then they tell you, and they say, all right, we're preparing for takeoff. And then so they back the plane up from the jet bridge, and they back it up, and then and then they start going, and then they turn the plane around and you start going, and then they tell you to raise your window up, and then you can see out the window. And then before you know it, you're just going real slow, and then you start going faster and faster and faster, and it goes woo, and goes up like that. It's pretty neat takeoff. I like to fly. I like to take it off. And it's neat how you can see the clouds and stuff from out the window. It's pretty neat.
Okay, so it sounds like you were kind of nervous about going on a plane.
I was.
And then you just you were zooming up, and so you rising into the sky, you thought that was fantastic, huh?
Yeah, it was neat. I loved it.
Oh, okay, and so you got a chance to get an aerial view of what was down below. And what are some of the things that you saw?
You can see the houses and the land. As you get higher and higher, it starts decreasing. It was pretty neat. And then you can see all the clouds and the sunshine, and it's pretty neat to watch. As the ground gets smaller and smaller as you go higher in the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was exciting.
Yes, it was very exciting. Yeah.
See, you enjoyed flying. I don't enjoy flying. But I love the fact that you can get where you want to go in a hurry. And so you don't mind all of the security, and you're just glad that everybody takes precautions and everything.
I would rather fly somewhere than drive somewhere for sure.
Yes, I understand that. I really rather fly. So you have to put all of your fear aside and enjoy the ride. And so sounds like you did. So where did you fly to? You say Chicago?
We flew from Orlando into Chicago, and then when we got to Chicago, we had like a 2.5, 3 hour layover, and then from Chicago we flew to South Bend, Indiana.
Okay, so but did you get a chance to see any of Chicago?
No, because we didn't want to go out of the airport
And then have to come
and then
back
have
in.
to come back through security.
So that's one thing. Once you're in the airport, you want to stay
you want to
inside.
stay in the airport, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people think 2 hours is a long time, but really it's not.
Not really. No.
It goes by really fast.
It did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so once you went to Indiana, tell us about your experience there, because some people haven't left the state of Florida, and so going to Indiana is different. So what's different about that?
It's beautiful in Indiana. We saw Notre Dame University, and there's a famous movie called Rudy about Notre Dame University. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. And then in Middleburg, Indiana, there's an Amish community. That was pretty neat to see, to ride through and see all the houses and their buggies and the horses. And we even saw we saw a horse and buggy at a pizza restaurant. We thought that was pretty neat. And then they had a Amish restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. But they had like an Amish buffet. It was really good. And then our waitress, her name, I can't remember what her name was, but she was an Amish lady too.
So you went to an Amish restaurant?
Yes, ma'am.
And was it the cooking or the food like Southern cooking?
Yes.
Yes.
It was. It was really good.
Yeah, I looked at one of those cooking shows, and the lady was frying chicken. Did you have fried chicken?
They had fried chicken, barbecue, mashed potatoes and gravy, corn, pie, apple pie, Dutch apple pie, my favorite. It was really good. It was all like a southern kitchen, kind of like southern cooking, that. It was really good.
Yeah, and when you think of Indiana, you don't think about Southern cooking.
No. Oh, you know what? Up there, they don't have sweet tea. They have iced tea, like unsweet tea with ice. That's their tea up there. They don't have sweet tea. Me and my husband were like, what? Like we had a heart attack because they didn't have sweet tea.
Well, I know that my husband is from the Midwest, Nebraska, and they don't sell sweet tea at McDonald's. Oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to say the name of the place, but they don't sell sweet tea, or they didn't at that time. And I was just like, when you say you want iced tea, you think it's gonna be sweet?
Yeah, our iced tea is different than their iced tea.
Yeah. So that's
because when we said sweet tea, they looked at us like, "What? You mean iced tea?" And I was like, "Is it sweet?" No. Okay. So then we had to order a soda, which was really weird because when you're used to drinking that, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's different parts of the country.
Yes.
The foods are different in different parts of the countries, that people have a staple for. And so I just wondered what it was like in that Amish restaurant. So it was Southern cooking without all of the things that we think of as Southern.
Yes.
Yes. And so you said you got a chance to view the campus of Notre Dame.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it huge?
Yeah, we tried to go on the football field, but they wouldn't let us. But the art museum was really neat, and then we seen the Touchdown Jesus, the mural thing. That was neat, but the campus was really big.
So it sounds like you had a fantastic trip.
We did.
Yes.
We enjoyed it. We want to go back.
Yeah. So going somewhere that was not Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
And having new experiences.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So was it hot there?
Yeah, it was hot, but not as hot as Florida, but it was still hot.
Is the land flat, or is it hilly, or is it just like Fort Meade?
No, it was both hilly and flat in some places. But it was really pretty up there. And we seen some geese in a park.
So, and we don't see geese down here.
No, we don't.
We have swans in Lakeland, and we see the sandpiper. Is that the sand crane? The sand crane here, but geese we don't really see. And so, yeah, but it's almost time for them to fly, what, south?
I think so, yeah.
Well, it sounds like you had a fantastic trip
We
flying and seeing new things. And so it's always good to see new things. And so thank you for sharing your trip, and especially about the flight, because some people are hesitant, and maybe this can affirm that it's all right to fly and you get there fast.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.